Good evening, welcome to HQ Trivia. I'm Beric Livingstone. It's Thursday, it's theme night, and once again we are heading to the flicks because it's movie night 3, Movie Raker. Tux always makes me think of Bond, and Moonraker was the 11th Bond film. Bond 25 will be getting underway before too long. You'll have heard that Cary Fukunaga is slated to replace Danny Boyle as director, and Daniel Craig will star. I love a Bond. Hard to pick a favourite though. For dialogue, I might choose Diamonds Are Forever. For theme song, I would make a case for Live and Let Die. For score, I've got a soft spot for Eric Serra's work on GoldenEye. He's the guy who does the music for lots of Luc Besson films. Although, of course, the daddy of Bond compositions was John Barry, who worked on nearly half the films and wrote the music to many of the classic theme songs. It was John Barry's old house in Knightsbridge, by the way, that they used for M's house in Skyfall. Oh, I could talk Bond all day, but I'm beginning to sound like a character from Trainspotting, and we have got other stuff to get through, so choose life. Choose the world's greatest quiz show. Choose an answer within 10 seconds. Choose 12 correct answers and a share of a £1,000 prize. Then choose leisure wear and matching luggage, good health, low cholesterol and dental insurance. And choose to use those extra lives if you have them to stay in the game. As you know, you can use one extra life per game, except on the final Q. Now let's choose Q1. Which of these is a popular cinema snack? Popcorn, tuna eyeballs, crispy tarantulas. You may laugh, but these are all things you can actually order depending on which restaurant you're going to. The cinema is full of scary things, but they tend to be on the screen instead of on the snacks. Corny, but without the corneas, it's popcorn, yeah. And knowing your movie munchies, 93,893 of you, 171 thought tuna eyeballs, yeah, they're quite big in Japan. Apparently they taste a little bit like a boiled egg. And 80 people thought crispy tarantulas, which are nice in Cambodia, but don't go so well with the movie. Anyway, may be popular, but cinema popcorn is not cheap, costing up to 15 times what it does in the shops. But that helps movie cinemas to make profits, and a lot of them got through the Great Depression for that very reason. Q2. According to the movie title, where does the Freddy Krueger nightmare take place? Fleet Street, Sesame Street, Elm Street. Charlie Sheen was originally cast in this movie to be Nancy's boyfriend, but he was too expensive, so they hired a newcomer who was one Johnny Depp. If you went for Fleet Street, then I think you're thinking of Sweeney Todd. Sounds sweet is bleak. It's a nightmare on Elm Street. Yes, Elm Street, named after an Elm Street in Wheaton, Illinois, where Wes Craven was at college. 87,000 of you getting that right. Fans of the franchise are pumped up for its next installment, with Robert Englund set to return as Freddy. Q3. Well, no, before Q3, let me tell you about Sunday. Sunday is going to be the big HQ ski. It's a £5,000 prize game hosted by our very own Shazza Carpenter. Tune in for that. Let's do Q3 now. Let's do it now. What's the title of the 1961 romantic comedy starring Audrey Hepburn? Dinner at Fabergé's, breakfast at Tiffany's, lunch at Cartier's. Audrey Hepburn, of course, one of those people who's got an EGOT, an Emmy, a Grammy, Oscar and a Tony, a small club, but she's in it. Now, these three meals, I'd say yes to any of them, but which one did Audrey agree to in the 60s? The most important meal of the day, it was breakfast at Tiffany's. George Peppard's finest hour until the A-Team. 85,402 of you getting that right. Seen as Audrey's most memorable role. It earned her an Oscar nomination and even more fans. Q4. Who played the character Sarah Connor in the 1984 movie The Terminator? Linda Hamilton, Linda McCartney, Linda Robson. Arnie apparently practiced with firearms for a month before this movie. He wore blindfolds and practiced stripping and reassembling weapons. That's dedication. Now these three are three legendary Lindas. Yes, they are. But who played the biggest badass of the 80s? Set to do it all over again next year, it's Linda Hamilton. We love a Linda Hamilton. 60,719 of you getting that right. 12,000 people thinking Linda McCartney and 10,000 thinking lovely Linda Robson there. Linda Robson, that would have been a very different movie. Anyway, Hamilton reprised her role in Judgment Day, the sequel that somehow managed to kick even more butt than the original. Q5. The proposed Chinese title for which of these movies was Superpower Dare Die Team? Ocean's 11, Avengers Assemble, Ghostbusters. Gotta love a Chinese title. The Chinese title for Up was Touring Around in a Flying House. Fair enough. The Chinese title for Knocked Up was One Night Big Belly. There you go. Now, it's a pretty accurate summary of Infinity War, but the Avengers did not assemble for this one. Picking poltergeists over heists, it's Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters, the right answer, 9,604 of you got that right, but it's the first savage question of the day, with nearly 40,000 of you choosing Avengers Assemble Superpower Dare Die Team. Yeah, well, who knew? China ban any film that has supernatural elements, typically, leaving them with no one to call in a superpower dare die emergency. What up, guys? Q6. In which of these movies does Leonardo DiCaprio play a fictitious person? The Revenant, Shutter Island, Catch Me If You Can. Leo DiCaprio, who got chased through the Louvre in 1998 by a gaggle of screaming teenage girls. Gotta love him. The Revenant bear scene was horrific, but that really happened to Hugh Glass, making you second guess everything. It's Shutter Island. Shutter Island, scary film, 8,130 of you getting that right. Martin Scorsese's thriller is based on a book, but that book is completely made up. Or is it? Now, a special shout out to Tommy, who plays even during lectures. All knowledge is learning and therefore good. And hi to the brilliant film critic Jason Solomons, who had me on his radio show this week. Thank you for that, Jason. Onwards to Q7. Which of these noughties movies features the main character eating a live octopus? Old Boy, Poseidon, Open Water. Did you see the clip, by the way, of the man kayaking and a seal pops up and slaps him in the face with an octopus? It's on my Twitter if you want to see that. It's definitely worth a look. Now, the leads of Open Water got pretty peckish, but they were the ones being eaten alive. Not even the grossest scene in the film. It was Old Boy. Old Boy, yep. 4,612 of you got that right. We're not talking CGI either. Actor Min-Shik Choi genuinely ate 4 live octopuses to get the shot. And in the movie, the character falls for the sushi chef. Go figure. Q8. Which of these original movies was not based on a novel? Jaws, Halloween, Psycho. Going from gross out eating to full-on horror, what's the origin of this story? You can find them all on the bookshelf now, but which one was a movie before it was a novel? 34 days away, it was Halloween. Halloween. 2,985 of you got that right. They tell us not to judge a book by it, but the cover of George was so good that they just reused it as the movie poster. Q9, the Toy Story character Buzz Lightyear was originally given which name? Rocket Man, Lunar Larry, Neil Infinity. Originally. First of all, however you want to put it, what was his name? He's technically a rocket man, but Pixar were a bit more creative than that. Aiming for infinity, but only reaching the moon, it was Lunar Larry. Lunar Larry, the right answer, 1,788 of you getting that right. Woody was a proper bad guy in the early version, something Tom Hanks was not happy about. And thinking about Sarah Connor in T movies, Terminator movies and T2, they originally had Barbie down to be a kind of badass Sarah Connor type stunt woman in Toy Story, but Mattel said no. And then when they saw how well it did, they said yes. Okay, Q10. For which of these biopics did the lead star not win a Golden Globe Best Actor award? Lincoln, Gandhi, Milk. 3 socio-political dramas with 3 great lead performances. And in fact, 3 Oscar-winning performances. But who missed out on a shiny sphere? Crying over spilt, well, himself, it was Milk. Milk, the right answer, and milking it, 559 of you, but another savage question as we lost 1,380 of you there. Yep, plenty even split between Lincoln and Gandhi, but Milk, the answer we wanted. Sean Penn was nominated for the award, but he was beaten, senseless, by Mickey Rourke and the wrestler. Q11. The main character in Django Unchained takes his name from a movie by which of these directors? Sergio Corbucci, Sam Peckinpah, Sergio Leone. Jamie Foxx worked on Django Unchained, of course, using his own horse. And then when Christoph Waltz fell off his horse and broke his pelvis during the shoot, Jamie Foxx gave him a get-well-soon present, which was a saddle with a seatbelt on. Anyway, this guy, Tarantino, is a walking encyclopedia of film, but who did he borrow the name Django from? Sergio Leone's sequel. It was Sergio Corbucci. the man who brought surrealism and politics to the Wild West. 333 of you getting that right. Okay then, legal department's at the ready because we are Djangoing into the final round. With £1,000 still to play for, 333, all the threes on the table, plus 34 of you using extra lives to get back in. How will it go? We'll find out. Q12. A short movie about which of these historical events was released within a month of it occurring. Titanic sinking, Pearl Harbor attack, Wall Street crash. Yes, how soon is too soon? We are never sure, but which disaster got dramatized 29 days after happening? Dorothy Gibson starred in the film despite having barely survived the real tragedy. It was a 9-minute, one-reel movie made by a guy who later went on to make a version of Sleepy Hollow, and beating James Cameron to it by 85 years, it was the Titanic for the win. And a Titanic victory for 95 of you tonight. 95 Movie Trivia Titans. Hugely well done for getting through those 12 tricky questions. You have £10 and 53 pence for beating our challenges there. Congratulations to Altered Beast, who looks like Sega gone a bit rabid there. To Dado 2, to I Am Ya. I am you, or I am you, you are me, or you are you? Anyway, you are yeah. Yeah, pretty mean looking there. To a surprised looking doggy, to someone who looks very comfortable with it, in fact, and someone in a field who's speaking to a bull, or the bull speaking to him, or I'm not sure if the bull or the guy was playing, but anyway, well done. And thank you for bonding with us. Thank you for pitting your film trivia wits against the HQ studio. I'm Beric Livingstone. You can find me on Twitter or Instagram if you want to give me a follow or send me a shout request. Sunday night is the big 5K game, and we are back tomorrow. The next show is tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Join us, please, for our regular game of mixed trivia questions. Till then, have a great night. Goodbye.